On behalf of Shikshan Marshi, Dr. D.Y. Patil, BBA, CA, Arts, Science and Commerce College, Pune, I welcome you all to online session. In today's session, we will see the difference between the public company and a private company. Dear students, as we all know, a public company means a company which is being traded on the indices, that is BSE and the NSE index, while a private company means a company which is limited to only a few people. Now let us see the real difference between a public company and a private company. As we have said, a public company means a company which is traded publicly, that is on the browsers of the BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange and NSE, National Stock Exchange, while a private company is a company which is owned and traded privately. Second difference is minimum number of members for a public company is 7, while in case of a private company it is 2. Maximum number of members for a public company is unlimited, while in case of a private company it is 200. The minimum directors for a public company is 3, while for a private company it is 2. Now as you all know, in case of a public company, the suffix limited is there. After the name, limited is written, while in case of a private company, it is mentioned private limited. Now, next point is regarding the start of business. A public company can start the business after receiving certificate of incorporation and certificate of commencement of business, while a private company can start the business only after receiving certificate of incorporation. In case of statutory meeting, a public company has to compulsorily take statutory meetings, while in case of private company it is optional. Next, issue of prospectus in case of public company is obligatory, while in case of private company it is not required. Now next comes minimum subscription. Public subscription is allowed in case of public company, while in case of private company it is not allowed. What is public subscription? That is allotment of shares to the public. Quorum of meeting in case of public company, 5 members must be present in person at the AGM, that is annual general meeting, while in case of private company 2 members must be present. Next is the transfer of shares. In case of public company, transfer of shares is free, while in case of private company, transfer of shares is restricted. Now we will see how to convert a private company into public company. This can happen in the following ways. First way is by conversion by default. When a default is made by a private company in complying with the requirements of a private company, that is restriction of transfer of shares, private company is barred to transfer shares to the public. When such default is made, it ceases to be a public company. On the minimum number of members, prohibition of invitation to public to buy shares or debentures, the company ceases to enjoy some of the privileges of a private company. Now the word ceases means it then cannot enjoy. Ceases means cannot enjoy. Second way of conversion of a private company into a public company is by operation of law. Under section 43A, a private company can become a public company where at least 25% of its paid up share capital is held by one or more corporate bodies. Second, where its annual average turnover during the relevant period is 25 crore or more. Third, where the private company holds at least 25% share capital of a public company. Fourth, where a private company invites, accepts, or uses deposit from the public. These are all the measures or operation of law under which a private company becomes a public company. That is 25% paid up share capital by one or more corporate bodies, annual average turnover is 25 crore or more, where the private company has more than 25% of share capital of public company, and where it accepts or deposit from the public. Third way of conversion of a private company into a public company is by choice. If a private company alters its article, then they do not contain the provisions which makes it a private company as on the date when such alterations are made in its article, then it ceases to be a private company. Now we will see how a public company can be converted to a private company. The public company in its general meeting has to pass special resolution for altering the articles so as to include therein the necessary restrictions, limitations, and prohibition on the right of members and transfer of their shares. Second, the word private should be added before limited. Private should be added in the name. Third, the approval of the central government to the alteration in the articles for converting a public company into private. Approval should be taken from the central government. The fourth way of converting a public company into a private company is within 1 month of the receipt of the order of approval, a printed copy of the altered article must be filed with the registered agency. Now, in the next part of the lecture, we will see what are the other kinds of companies. The other types of companies are one-person company. A one-person company is a new category of company introduced to encourage startup and young entrepreneurs, wherein a single person can incorporate the entity. The main advantage of one-person company is that a single person can start the company. It also promotes the concept of corporatization of the business. It should be noted here that it is not the same as sole proprietorship form, in a way that one-person company has a separate legal existence with limited liability. The important is one-person company has a limited liability. Next type of company are a charitable company or an NGO. Charitable companies or non-governmental organization is a group, organization, non-profit establishment or non-profit association of individuals, activists, voluntary and social persons. Voluntary and social person. Non-government organization is a citizen-based non-profit group works for social welfare and sustainable development. As students, we all know in the word non-governmental organization, its main aim and objective of any NGO is the same as the aim of the government, that is development of the society. Students, what we should remember here is that the government of India allows for registration of an NGO under three laws. First one, under section 8 Companies Act 2013, under the Societies Registration Act 1860, and under the Trust and Public Trust Act of each state. All types of NGOs are treated equally under the Income Tax Act of 1961. Students, now understand that in order to be eligible for tax exemption status, an NGO must be founded for a charitable purpose as defined in Indian law. Now, what is a charitable purpose? It includes relief for the poor, education, medical relief, and the advancement of any other object of general public utility. Charitable means for public welfare. Now, once the status is established, charitable organization can apply for an ATG certificate to enable donors to claim tax rebates under their donation. Those donors who will contribute to such NGOs can enjoy tax rebate. The next type of company is the dormant company. The idea of a dormant company was not there in the Companies Act 1956, and it is a new concept introduced in the Companies Act of 2013. This basic idea is imported from the United Kingdom. Section 455 of the Act speaks about the dormant company. Now students, what here we have to understand is the meaning of dormant company, that is, which is inactive or inoperative. The basic idea of dormant company is for the benefit of a company to start a future project or hold an essential intellectual property without having significant accounting transaction. Means अभी कुछ करने का नहीं है, सिर्फ to hold an asset or an intellectual property. On the other hand, if a company has not filed its annual returns for 2 consecutive years, then such a company will also be called as a dormant company. Companies may apply for a dormant status if the company is incorporated for a future project. Incorporated for holding an asset or an intellectual property. Company which has not filed its financial statement and annual returns during the last 2 financial years, and the company which has not filed any financial statement and annual return during the last 2 financial, and the company which is not carrying out any significant business or has made any significant accounting transactions. All such companies are called as dormant or inactive or inoperative company. Now, in our previous slide, what we have seen, which has not done any significant accounting transaction. What does it mean? It means that significant accounting transaction means accounting transactions other than basic procedural transaction, that is payment of fees by a company to the registrar and also payment to fulfill the requirements of the Act or any other law, allotment of shares to fulfill the requirement of this Act, and payment for maintenance of its books and office. Apart from this transaction, the company should not make any other transaction. Now, students, the question may come to your mind, why dormant company? Suppose a company finds the cost of the land is very low or cheap today. So, such company can buy the land today and start its business 2 years afterwards. So, dormant companies are formed to purchase land. Not only land, but it can also incorporate or obtain the status of a dormant company to hold any asset, intellectual property now and start its business in the future. Now we will see what do you mean by a sick company. As per section 246AA of the Companies Act 1956, six industrial company means an industrial company which has at the end of any financial year accumulated losses exceeding 50% of average net worth during 4 years. Losses are there more than 50%. Has failed to pay debts to its creditors in consecutive 3 quarters on demand made by the creditors in writing. All such units or the company is a sixth company where there are losses and it has failed to pay the creditors. Now we will see what do you mean by a small company. Company established under section 285 of the Companies Act 2013. A small company means a company other than a public company whose paid up share capital of the company does not exceed 50 lakh rupees or higher as may be prescribed in the Companies Act. So in our case it is 50 lakh rupees at present and the upper limit is 10 crore rupees. Second, a small company is a company whose turnover as per profit and loss account for the immediately preceding financial year does not exceed 2 crore rupees or higher as may be prescribed in the Companies Act, and it not be more than 100 crore rupees. At present it is 2 crore rupees. Now we will see what do you mean by a listed company. Listed company means that company which is listed and recognized as a public owned company in the indexes. That is, indexes means the BSE and the NSE stock exchange. Where such a company is listed on the BSE and the NSE stock exchange, it is called as a listed company. Next is the foreign company. Students, any company that is registered outside the country but has a business place in India or by way of an agent, traditionally or electronically, and undertakes business operations in the country in any manner is called a foreign company. And the last is section 8 company. A company formed for a charitable object, that is to encourage commerce, science, sports, research, education, social welfare, environment protection, religion, etc. comes under the category of section 8 company. These companies are given special license by the central government. Further, they use the money earned as profit for the promotion of the object and thus dividend to its member is not paid. the student. In today's lecture, we have seen the difference between the public company and a private company. We have seen the different types of companies. We have seen the conversion of a private company into a public company, the conversion of a public company into a private company, and the different types of companies like one person company, the charitable company or NGO, the dormant company, sick company, small company, listed company, foreign company, and Section 8 company. That's all for today. Thank you.